She has no opinion. She has no, yeah, right, right. Because you guys are so fucking social and awesome. I mean, you're amazing to talk to. Let me fucking tell you. It's not a waste of time at all when you repeat the same dumbass shit all the time. Like, it's super interesting. Really awesome. I'm so impressed by this whole movement. There's nothing to the fucking movement, okay? It's not a movement. It can't be a movement unless you fucking have some motion to it, okay? There's nothing happening there. It's just a whole bunch of dudes pissed off because they can't get laid, talking shit about broads who they'll never stand a chance with, no matter how many doctorate degrees they have behind it, because they're assholes for people. And what you are on the inside is going to reflect on the outside, buddy. So I don't give a damn if you think that your GQ fresh. You're not. You're not. You're a shitty person on the inside. It shows on the outside, big guy. That's all you need to know. Okay?
So I don't know where it started with these incels where they feel entitled. And number one, entitled to a woman just in general, specifically a quote unquote like high quality 10, So I don't know where the entitlement comes from exactly, but but so much of their anger, so much of their words, no, almost pretty much 100% of the words, except for the one that that guy that a Canadian guy that went out and killed himself 5 years ago, whatever. But they're all online, they're all complaining all the time, yet they're not doing anything in real life to improve
to better themselves.
Yeah, and that's
to make themselves interesting people.
Yeah, exactly. They just sit there and just complain all the time. I deserve this. I deserve that. I deserve this. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And the men going their own way. Now, the idea of like self-improvement, forsaking relationships, self-improvement inherently is not a bad idea. I mean, I didn't think about it like that, but technically, I guess if you talk about, say, the past, I don't know, 3-4 years of my life, that's what I've done basically.
That's what you've been doing.
But number one, I don't hate women.
But you ain't hating broads.
Right. And
you ain't out here
and also
applauding.
I don't not only do I not hate women, but I don't go around and tell you that I hate you either, And
exactly.
How many of these guys on Quora say that they went their own way, and yet they always come around and tell us, everybody, how much they don't want to talk to you anymore. It's like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Nigga, go your own motherfucking way. We give you the green light. Go. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. Don't come back. Like, they won't do it. Like, nigga, you still here? Are you still here? Because you told us like 6-8 months ago you was gonna go your own way. We've been waiting, bitch. We've been waiting for you to leave this motherfucker. And you're still not. You're still bitching about the same shit. You ain't doing nothing to change it. You're a horrible person. The way you talk to women is shit. Maybe you should do something about that, and you wouldn't have to spend so much time fucking hating them. You know what I mean? Maybe one would actually like you. Maybe. If you tried to become a decent fucking person. But you're not.
But even to me, almost as bad are the nice guys, the ones or the white.
Oh, God damn it.
Now, here's what they never understand is they will go out and put on the appearance of being the chivalrous knight in shining armor. But what they don't understand is when they put a specific woman on a pedestal, she's an object. She's not a person. She's somebody that you look at from afar, who you give compliments to, just because.
Here's my trophy.
There, exactly. And and then of course it's going all well until that woman doesn't reciprocate your feelings towards her, and then all of a sudden
then she's a whore, bitch, a slut, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why.
You know how many times I've been on the receiving end of that?
Was that?
You know how many times I've been on the receiving end of that?
Oh, I can imagine. I can only imagine.
Man, check me out though. Still sitting here, not your trophy. So, fuck you, that didn't work either.
You know, it's one of the reasons why I have a deep suspicion of male feminists, because I always think
Mm-hmm.
there's an ulterior motive there somewhere. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but I'll tell you that's just what my gut tells me. You know.
And you're usually right on that, BMan. You usually are. As a matter of fact, I can't recall a particular situation where you haven't been. Um, honestly, in what 6 8 months that we've been calling them as we see them, So it's it's one of those scenarios where I take that type of shit. It's in one ear and out the other. It's water to a duck. You know what I mean? It means nothing because in the end, there's a ulterior motive, and I don't want no fucking part to it. Like all these dudes. I want to come save your day, bitch. I don't need you to save my day. I don't need no part of you saving my. You want to know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna save my own motherfucking day, and then you get the fuck out of my way because right now you're just complicating shit. All right, like I don't need your help, and I don't need you pretending like you want to be my friend. I told you about my boy Sean, didn't I?
A little bit.
Who made my ex-husband correct? That's what hurt my feelings so bad. Mm-hmm. Oh, baby Jesus. Okay, 5 years. Okay, me and Sean, that's my homeboy. You know what I mean? My riding partner. Like, that's my dog. We worked in the same department. You know what I mean? It's my people. Like, his wife was a school teacher. Man, they used to come out to the house. Me and my ex-husband, my first ex-husband, we'd be kicking it, having some barbecues, whatever, just everybody's chilling, having a good time together. Well, one day, my ex-husband says to me, your boy is trying to sleep with you, blase fucking squaze. So I, of course, being me, am like, you know what? You're so fucking ignorant. Like, don't even say dumb shit like that to me. That's disgusting. First of all, fool. Don't talk about my people like that. Secondly, you're sitting here degrading me as though this is the type of shit that I would let into, a friendship like it's acceptable fucking bullshit. That's nonsense. I don't even know where you're coming from with this shit. Okay. Fast forward 2 years. All right. I'm going through my divorce at this time. All right. Sean had come out with the girls and me is a nightly thing at this point because that's the way to get through a damn divorce. So I'm at every club all the time. So he comes out with us, whatever, drives me home. I'm a little toe up. He drives me to the house. No big deal. He's got his own fucking blanket and pillow there. It's that type of scenario. How about my boy says to me, hey, listen, you out here at the bar and shit with the homegirls every night, blah, blah, blah. Why you ain't think about your boy? God damn. No, you didn't. Why would you do that? Why did you just do that? Because now you just fucking made everything he ever said right, first of all. Secondly, I can't be your friend no more because that's not how you look at me. You look at me a whole different way. I know your wife, bitch. What does that say about what you think about me? Like, man, you just killed everything we ever fucking were. Everything in one fell swoop. Right there. I was so mad. And I said, and made him right. You made him correct. And that disgusts me. Like, all that friend bullshit. Nah, baby, now. No, don't try. Don't try to come to my rescue, punkin'. I don't need you. I don't need none of that. I don't need you to drive me home. I'll get my drunk ass to the house. They got Uber. I'm good. I don't need none of it. None of it. I don't need you, lighting up my barbecue grill. I got that too. They make lighters for that. I'm good. I don't need it. None of it. I'm still mad about that shit. He hit me up on Facebook not too long ago, sent me a friend request. Didn't even have the nerve to say nothing behind it either. That shit pissed me off. Like, if you're gonna just pop up with your little face icon and then not say nothing, no, nigga, we ain't friends. We ain't friends. That's you did that. We were friends. Apparently, I thought we were friends. You evidently thought that, you were in queue or something. I don't know. You had pulled a fucking, you were number N38. You were just waiting for me to get to you. Fuck out of here. That's my thought.
And that's something that I mean, I think we've seen a few of those kinds of things on our space there.
Oh God, yeah.
Like that, and it's just my thoughts of that are just, look, you need to make your intentions known straight away, because
Yep.
you don't. The last thing you want to do is exactly your scenario. Is pretend to be just friends for however many months, years, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden pop that out, and
Just
that
pop up.
completely changes everything, every interaction, everything, every motivation, every
Yep.
everything.
Yep. 5 years, BG. 5 years me and this nigga was kicking around. You know what I mean? Like this was with me in Chicago when I got stuck. Like that's my people, or so I thought. Like, man, get out of here with this dumb shit. You should have just, you know what I mean? All you had to do was say so. And I would have kept you at arm's length. It never even had to be that. It never even had to be any of that. And now I can't even stand you. Shit. I won't even take your little punk ass friend request. I ain't got nothing for you. So, it's sad. It's really sad, because it's like, what the fuck is so wrong with me, man? That, like, nobody really wants to be my friend. People just want to see how long it takes, or how many drinks it takes, or how many fucking broken relationships it takes before I cry on your fucking shoulder and you can turn it into something else. There it is.
Maybe, I mean, maybe it's just something about like your personality that makes people want to do that. I mean,
What the? Listen, did you really just say that to me? Okay, well, Brian, maybe it's something about your fucking clothes that you're wearing today that make people want to do that to you. How about that? Is it all right? Is it all right if your homegirl? What's her name? The one that's like me that you got up there. What's her name?
oh,
It ain't
Jen,
Stacy. What is it?
yeah,
Uh
Jen,
huh.
Jen.
Okay. So how about she just walks by and slaps you on the ass today and tells you whatever, you looking like a snack, or whatever the fuck may be. You can be like, girl, get the fuck out of here with the dumb shit. Oh no, Brian, it's your clothing that you're wearing today. That's what it is. You shouldn't be walking around here looking all hoified if you didn't want to be swatted on the ass by your homegirl.
Is there like a common like personality trait with these guys that have done that to you, that or like what's the common theme?
The common denominator.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Okay, here's the thing. Um, I guess I'm kind of blind to part of the scenario. I don't really see, like, when my husband told me that he saw, the situation turn into a different situation. I should have asked him, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Give me a specific instance, to where I can just lob it up out of here, because you ain't making no sense to me. But instead, I get heated first because I don't know how to do nothing with finesse. It's all with force. So I I immediately go to hothead, and don't really get to the bottom of the situation. But I have discovered, in time since then that um, like I've got a homeboy, Jovi, who I worked in his restaurant. I ran his bar in his restaurant, and my people, my fucking people love him to death. Think the world of him. And one fucking day, there it is, and I'm just like, dude, okay, you're aware of the fact that I know your girlfriend, right? Like you do know, like, this is a whole line of communication we got here. Like, I talked to her, she talked to me. I know she exists. She knows I exist. So I don't really know why you're trying to put me in this situation. A Secondarily, I don't know why it is that you're disrespecting the fuck out of my friendship, because that's you calling me a hoe is what you're doing. You're basically saying I'm nothing but a side piece. You know, like, why would I want to be your friend? That's your opinion of me. That's what you're out here telling people. When you talk about me, fuck you. Man, get the fuck out of here. So I guess the common denominator is, apparently they think that that's how I operate.
Mhm.
Seems to be the common thread. You know.
And I mean, this is all within like the same general kind of community, right? Like the same town, right? So that's another thing that just doesn't make any sense either. Is if you know their girls or wives, you know, how did they think this is going to play out? You know, and again, that goes back to they think so little of you that it doesn't cross their mind. You know,
I got a homegirl who her name's Nicole. Okay, we used to bartend together, same place, my boy spot. Okay, how about she was fucking his homeboy, which is the second, you know, in command or whatever, the other chef, in the fucking dry goods storeroom. Okay, back there on my liquor bottles. All right, like knowing he's got no, and now she's got a husband and a child at home. He's got a wife, a couple kids at home, and I, I said, I know y'all ain't in there on my Jameson. I know y'all ain't doing it. Not on my fucking Jameson. I know you ain't doing it because we gonna fight. Like you fuck up my Cascade, we gonna fight. So, but I mean, this is the type of shit that's going on, you know, and don't allow one broad to speak for everybody, especially when that is what they're saying, because baby, they ain't saying much. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like it's and I loved her to death too. I loved her to pieces till I found out about that shit. And then I just never looked at it the same way, you know? Like I was just like, ooh, not really though. You know, like you all right to work a shift with and shit, but I don't really want you over to the crib, you know? Like it'll put you on a whole different frame of mind about somebody, you know, because basically you ain't know but you're a homewrecker hoe, you know? So you ain't coming to wreck my home, bitch. The fuck out of here with that. I don't need that shit.
Yeah, you know, I've had some male friends who were married, and I knew like a few of them that were trying to mess around with every woman that they saw, or a particular one at a particular bar or restaurant, you know, whatever, store or whatever like that. And I don't understand. I don't understand that mindset. You know, to me, it's like if you don't want to be in a you know, a relationship, like okay, that's fine. I mean, that's your business. But to me, once you're in a relationship, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. What are you doing? If you want to listen, okay, check this out. As men, y'all have the ability to go throw your dick at anything and not have any sort of ripple effect in your life. You're not a chick. You don't have to even think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you doing? What are you doing? You ain't got to even do all this shit where you got to lie to somebody. You got to fucking, you know, keep your story straight. You got to hide shit in your phone. You got to blah, 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 blah. It's so much work. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? If you want to be out there, you know, throwing your dick at anything that moves, by all means, go do so.
Yeah.
Go fucking do so. But let the broad know, you know, so she can stop fucking starching your fucking underwear for you, you asshole. Like you can go on back to being the nasty ass mess you was whenever she found you. How about that? Like, because that's what you deserve. You're dirty, you're nasty. Stop it. I can't stand it. It's disgusting.
And it's unfortunate that like as men, we don't hold each other accountable with that kind of behavior either. You know, there's always one dude in the squad.
Y'all don't.
There's always one dude in the squad who, you know, is messing around.
Let it slide.
Yeah.
Y'all let it slide. Y'all just like, oh no, it's cool. You know, that's Jack. He fuck everything. You know, just overlook him. It's all right.
I can get in my car though. What do you mean? But no, you're right though. Yeah. You feel me? You know what I mean? But no, you're right though. I
feel you. I do feel you.
But it becomes normalized, and even like societally, if a woman sleeps with a lot of men, she's a hoe. If a man sleeps with a lot of women, he's what? He's playing the field. He's a player. Blah 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 blah. You know, all those terms. And to me, you're doing the same thing. You know.
Yeah, you are.
But you know, in our society, they're treated very differently.
Right, and I'll tell you that women are the biggest haters of other women, you know? Like, they'll outright listen, okay? Bitches will outright just be like, "Oh, you a nasty stank bitch. Look at you." Like, how you gonna walk in here knowing you done fuck half the kitchen? You know, get out of here, you dirty bitch. You know what I mean? Whereas dudes, they're just like, "Oh shit, everybody else is hitting. I may as well just go on, chatter up, hit it too." So
Yeah.
like yeah, you get a different reaction, and then y'all with dudes, y'all just like, ah, yeah, I figured one of the waitresses eventually was gonna fucking tell you, yeah, and whatever. We all knew it was gonna happen. Your wife ain't found out. Good, okay. You need me to cover for you. All right, cool. You was at the house. But like, it's a whole different mindset on it. You don't have women doing that. Like, now I tell you this, I will. I cover from home, girl. I'll be like, hey, listen, your old man just called me bitch. You fell asleep on the couch. Stop it.
Crazy, man.
Listen, I won't. And I've never been put in that situation either. You know what I mean? I just don't run with women like that. I don't run with women that, that carry themselves in that type of manner. That's not my bag. And it's not to say that there aren't women who don't think that they have reasons. They don't think that they have a justification. Whatever it is that you got going on in your house, that's your fucking business. Unless it affects my money, I don't care. But don't bring it to my face. You bring it to my face, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. So I just don't run with women like that. There's a woman here on my street who very blatantly is having an affair with a little dope boy down on the corner. I'm talking about every morning when her husband leaves, that little boy is down there. And I know I'm not the only one noticing it, but I don't affiliate with her, so it's not my issue. I don't affiliate with her old man. What would I care? I see you though. I see you, and I know what you got going on. I know what kind of a bitch you are, and you're nasty. So, you got to figure eventually somebody around here is going to be the wrong one to see it and is going to tell her husband, and it's probably going to be a real ugly fucking scenario. But what ifs? Not my business, not my place. Just going to sit back and watch when the fireworks go off.
I've only been in that situation once where somebody asked me to cover for them. And I told them, look, I don't want anything to do with that. That's not my business. I don't want to get caught up in your situation. Like,
that's my dog.
Hey, my shit is clean. And I want it to be that. I want to keep it that way.
You had to back away.
Yeah, because
you ain't gonna get me tangled up in your fuck shit. This is not my home. You ain't gonna have me in all these dramatic ass lies I gotta write down dates and times and shit. Bitch, that's too much for my agenda. Okay? I only got so many lines in it. You ain't gonna be filling them up with your drama. Like, take that shit to your place, put it in your agenda, keep your notebook full of your lies. I don't need that drama and headache and nonsense. I wouldn't do it in my own life. Why would I do it for somebody else? Why am I going to do that to me? I'm gonna sit here and tell your husband a bald-faced lie, probably the same dude that is down at the end of the bar kicking it, 3-4 nights a week. I'm down here smiling in his face, knowing what's really going on, like an asshole, like I'm just not that kind of broad. I'm not gonna do that. I feel like that's cheap shit. That's cheap shit, so you can keep that. You can keep all that.
And lying takes so much effort, so much energy. Like you said, keeping your story straight, keeping your dates straight.
I ain't got the memory.
It's like I just
Brian,
I don't have the time or the inclination to do any of that.
You know how bad my memory is, okay? Like, I can't remember a bitch's name lines down, okay? Like, I'd have to call you every 20 minutes. Hey, B, remember last Tuesday night? What was we supposed to be doing? Like, you'd be like, listen, bitch, get your own lies straight, okay? I can't keep doing this for you. Like, I've got a fucking bed going at this point. Get the fuck, you're fucking with my graphs, bitch. Get your shit together.
And my charts.
Yeah, your charts are sharp, baby. They're sharp. I ain't trying to fuck one of them up. Come on now. Damn. But it's like, it takes so much to to do that, to go through, lock your phone, remember what to delete, what your password is on 85 different, man, come on, man. I done caught somebody in all that shit, man. I've seen the work it takes. I don't want that. I'm not working that fucking hard. All right. Usually I just stand around and look pretty for a living. So I'm damn sure not doing all this work for the free just to cover up for somebody that ain't even me. Bitch, get out of here. I don't even like nobody that much. That shit ain't gonna happen. Like, nah.
You know, I like to keep my life as simple as possible, really. You know, like I said last week, you know, I got, I don't know, like 3 or 4 main things that I do. A few other things that branch off from that, but it's like, you know, roughly about 3 or 4 things that I do every single week.
Yeah.
Keep it very simple. And it's all within my control. And that's the most important thing for me. It's like, it's all within my control. I'm in control of all this stuff here. You know, if there's something that I have to lie about or that's like outside of my control, I don't want that feeling, and I don't want anything to do with it, you know?
Exactly.
So,
and that's the Aries in you. You know, that's got a lot to do with, you know, who you are as a person, your personal nature. You know, you don't do dramatic ass storms. You don't want any of that. That's not your thing. You know, you want clear skies. You want to just be smooth sailing, you know, where the boats have boats. And that's okay. That's okay to want that and to have that. You know, people put so much emphasis on having so much drama in their personal lives. And that shit ain't necessary. That's unnecessary. You know, you're doing the most. You're over here with so much extra. Like, it's disgusting. It ain't a good look. It's a terrible look. Like, I couldn't imagine going home every day and looking somebody in the face and lying my ass off about everything I got going on. For what? For what? Why? Why am I going to stress myself out like that? Calling you every fucking 15 minutes. Hey, BMan, check this out. Listen, I was at your crib, okay? We ordered to fight. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Really? There wasn't even no fight on last Tuesday, you dumbass. You ain't watched fucking Sports Center the following month. What's wrong with you? Like, I'm sorry, I got it all fucked up. I need you to draw me out a chart, please. Could you please graph me something to where I can keep these fucking lines straight? You know, now I got us both working overtime on some dumb shit. Like, I'm wasting everybody's time and money. This shit don't make no sense. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why people would do it. I actually, my mother, she carried on an affair on my sister's dad for a long fucking time, a long time. And I'm gonna tell you this: when he found out, shit was not cool. Okay, shit was not cool at all. Like, listen, I'm talking restraining orders and doors kicked in and all kind of shit, you know, and you know what I mean? Like, I've seen the other side of it. I've seen what it does. I've seen exactly how it is, how it ends up. And I don't want that. I don't want no part of that. That's not for me. That's not my bag.
You know, I'll tell you this. One of the worst aspects of dealing with that crazy PCP chick was how much extra drama was in my life. I mean,
man,
just
they do the most.
Imagine me now at age 31. This is pretty much how I am most of the time, you know. Now, as we've seen, I guess twice now, at the end of October and then this week, when Brian gets tired, he tends to go off on people, especially over on fucking Cora when somebody decides to start some.
You get your Frankie pants.
And you know, yeah. But aside from the, you know, aside from
Brian's wearing his Frankie pants today. Everybody should overlook him.
I'm usually pretty calm, right? And low key, right? You know.
Yeah, absolutely low key. Yeah.
I mean, I was, for the longest time, I was embarrassed that I had brought her around my family. I introduced her to my family at my apartments. Damn. You know, the whole drama over there with her crashing my car.
Damn.
Was it?
When you can say abroad made you embarrassed to have brought them around your family, like that's saying something. That's listen, that's doing the most. That's doing the most.
Yeah. So, after all that, I'm like, you know what? Whatever I do, last thing I'm going to do is bring extra drama, to bring someone around people like my people that I could potentially be embarrassed by, or like not want to try to hide somebody from, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want any of that. So I cut all that out of my life, and the people that I associate with are people that I can be out with, that I can have them meet people, other people, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whatever it is, like. And that.
Yeah, and you ain't got to worry about the dumb shit.
There you go.
Like, if I got to worry about how you gonna, oh Lord, nah, baby, nah, you can't go nowhere with me. No, you're gonna have to sit this one out, pumpkin, because your behavior, it leaves some shit to be desired. Okay, it's completely unacceptable in a fucking social setting. I'm not okay with it. These folk over here ain't okay with it. Nobody's okay with it. We don't want no part of it. You're gonna have to sit to the house because your behavior is atrocious. Now, when you can get some learned behavior skills about you, we can renegotiate the terms. But at this point, no, baby, no, you can't go in public with me.
And do you really want to associate with somebody who's not like house trained? I mean, come on.
Man, listen. My boy said, this bitch ain't even house trained. Shit. Look. Okay. Okay, listen, 1-800-FUCKBOY, all right? Let's call up Travis, okay? A little girl showed up at my house on Christmas Day to announce she's pregnant by him in front of my family. Do you know? Okay, check this out. It took everything in me. Everything in me. My brother looked at me. He said, "Abe, don't do it. Don't do it." I said, "You get this bitch over here out of my motherfucking sight. You get your ass out of my motherfucking sight. And don't neither one of you come back in it. Okay? That's it. That's it. Nothing else said. I'm not going to lose my shit and look like sloppy ass white trash on Christmas Day, over drinking the fucking vodka and burning the fucking Christmas ham for your punk ass. That's not happening. You're not going to reduce me to your level. Just because you're a trashy bitch doesn't mean I am. Feel me? Because unlike some other motherfuckers, I do have home training."
And that leads me into topic number 2, which is,
let's roll with it.
Marriage, the state of marriage and relationships in 2020. And this stuff does overlap with what we were just talking about. But in general, so how do you feel about, let's say, marriage in 2020?
Okay, please. Here's what I think. I think that as women, we have stepped up and filled that role for ourselves. There ain't a fucking thing I need from any dude that I can't do for myself. Nothing. Absolutely. I don't care about the pickle jar being stuck. They make things for that now. They're little fucking wraps. You just put it on there and twist it right on open. It's not even difficult anymore. It's for what? For what? For what am I? Why would I do that to myself again? Why? Why? So what? You can leave me in 5 years and take half my shit, or you can be out here in the streets making me look stupid, or you can what? Have a laundry lady. What am I getting out of it? What am I getting out of it? What can you do for me that I cannot do for myself? Right.
I ask myself the same question in relation to, okay, hey, I've never been married, for those who don't know. And I moved out of my parents' house when I was 21. I think I'd done a year of college, then went back, worked for Safe Light Auto Glass for about a year and a half. Then came on with my company that I work for now for 11 years now. But aside from inviting that crazy woman over to live with me for about almost 2 years,
oh Lord, that was not
which was
smart.
dumb. That's a whole different topic there. But generally speaking, I've been on my own, had to provide for myself. Now, growing up, my sister and we both did all the household chores. I mean, I did more of the outdoor work. Like I'm on the lawn, and we back and all the kind of stuff. But like in general, like inside the house, we did the same house cleaning. We both learned how to cook from my mother. So she taught us how to be sufficient as far as domestically.
That's right.
So like I know how to do laundry, which is amazing. Amazing that some people don't know how to do, but it's not hard, obviously. But like I'll tell you
this. You don't need nobody to iron your shirt. You can put a crease in your shirt just like a broad can.
I'll tell you what though, it is. Maybe it's because of the way that I grew up. It amazed me how many guys I knew who didn't know how to do some of the most basic household functions.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Really? Check this out. Man. Okay. Okay, listen. D-Guy couldn't dare, the king of the fuck boys, he could not boil water for pasta, baby. With me talking him through it on the fucking phone.
Oh my God.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? That's how, what is really happening in your household when your children cannot boil pasta? Tell me, please.
Well, if they grew up in a, traditional quote unquote household, and their
mama did everything,
spoiled them, never taught them how to do it. I mean, they had their clothes at the end of the bed, neatly folded, every week, whatever. The meals are always cooked for them. Never had to lift anything domestically.
You got it.
And they take that attitude with them into adulthood, and then expect their woman to do all that stuff for them. And you're, 32.
No, baby. Come on. Listen, check this out. Okay. I don't know what sort of shit you have going on down to your mama house where she still feels like it's okay to do that for you, but keep it going back there, baby. She's been doing it all this time. I don't want to deprive her of it, okay? You take your shit back there and go get your mama to do the shit, because I ain't with it. Like, I'm not your mama, and I ain't fit to be babying you bitch ass. So you're a grown-ass man. Don't even come to me with that dumb shit. Like, bitch, if you don't know how to sweep a floor, if you don't know how to boil water for pasta, we need to get you some specialized help, okay? Because this is bigger than a me and you thing. This is a fucking detective type of thing.
I tell you what, I was talking with one of my guys the other day, and he told me the story about a former coworker of his. He was like maybe, I don't know, mid-20s or so, who didn't know anything about like taxes, credit cards, because he was living at home the whole time. Like he didn't know how to file tax. He didn't know how to apply for, manage his finances, anything like that. But again, he lived at home, small town, the whole 9 yards. It's
my mother didn't teach me shit about finances because she's terrible with them. That's why she's been married 8 fucking times. She keeps marrying up for money, But I went to work for a controller, right, fresh out of high school, when I was in my first year of college, as a matter of fact. And he taught me everything, anything to do with finances, everything to do with taxes. He literally taught me any and everything I can do on a 10 key. I can journal voucher some shit like you ain't never seen. You know what I mean? But I didn't learn how to pay a light bill from my mama, or how to, put a deposit down on a fucking utility from my mama. I had no idea how to, it's that's something that, she left me crippled in a lot of areas when it comes to being a fiscally responsible adult. And I still struggle with that, I still am just like, fuck it, I want the shoes. You know what I mean? Fuck the light bill, it's cool. I'll wear these shoes in the motherfucking dark too. You know what I mean? But I have to remember that I'm not her. That's not the way I do it, so. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of, and especially, single women. There's a lot of single women out here that are, I know plenty of chicks. My homegirl Melinda, man, skate by on their looks. Couldn't tell you what their bills are. Why? Because they don't pay them. They know when the shutoff notice comes, and they got to call up some dude that they halfway trying to throw it to get the bill paid. That's it. That's their household budgeting right there.
And I say all that, and what you said, just to bring it back to, okay, why in 2020 would somebody, or two people I should say, decide to get married? Okay, so like, say for example, like my parents, they met in college. They were both living with their parents in Sacramento. Met in college. They got married in college. They never lived by themselves. They went from living with their parents to getting married.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
So not so much with my dad, but I think with my mom, she was expecting like not exactly the same path, but something not what I'm doing now, basically, which is jet setting halfway across the country every couple of years, But I asked myself again, okay, if I were to ever get married, what would it be for? It wouldn't be because there's something that like I can't do or I'm missing, like you're saying, I would like I want to already have and do have a pretty good foundation already, so I'm adding something on top of it, not so much marrying because my foundation is weak or for money or that kind of thing.
Well, Brian, my thought on it. I wrote a column on it. Oh, great. More fucking love, exactly what we need. That column about my homegirl Megan, and her wife, and my homegirl Dora, her husband Jeremy. These people by themselves are fucking superhuman. Okay, like give them a cape, keep the kryptonite away from them. Like they're doing it. And then they met their partner, and it was like, oh God, this gets even more fucking perfect. This is awesome. Great. I'm so glad you two motherfuckers met one another. I'll never hear the end of this shit. Anyway, so now that you've saved every orphan in Nepal, thank you. I'm so thrilled that you come back from vacation and tell me all about it. They meet somebody who makes that superhuman even more amazing, as hard as that is to believe. And I've seen it. I've seen it in 3 different cases, and those are the only times I've ever seen it, but I know it's out there, and if you ever got me Xanaxed up enough and full of enough Jameson to get me at the end of a fucking aisle, it would be for some shit like that. That'd be the only way. That'd be the only fucking way, because anything else is less than, and I don't want less than, I'm trying to do the most. I don't want less than. I don't want half-ass. I don't want have to justify it to myself or anyone else. I want it to be that visible, that obvious, that clearly this is why. Look at the fucking superpowers I got now, bitch. You don't see me, I'm leaping tall buildings and shit. I couldn't do that shit before. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no, you're right, and that's kind of where my head is at, where I'm not, maybe most importantly, I'm not looking for love, so if it were to happen,
yeah, absolutely,
it would be more spontaneous. I don't have like a plan or something like that, like, okay, in 2 years I'm going to be married, I'm going to be living in a white picket fence, all that stuff. Quite frankly, I mean, the past 4 years, if you had told me that I would have moved halfway across the country and then moved to another state and then another state, I would have said, get out of here. But you know what? Somehow I'm sitting here in this hotel room in California, 1,800 miles away from my parents and my sister, but that's just how it worked out. And I don't know
do well
exactly.
with it, though.
Yeah. And And like, I decided to go back to school because I felt like, okay, that's another goal that I had started way back when I,
Knock it down.
got to high school, but I want to finish that, now. And I'm able to do that because I'm not, attached to anyone or don't have any obligation to be home or, whatever, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
your time is your time. You're doing you.
Yeah. I like that freedom. I like having the independence.
Tell me about it.
Exactly. So
I know all about it.
Yeah. So
it's
it'd be very hard to give that up or compromise. It really would. If
you better be able to leap tall building.
Yeah. And look, I mean, if you can hit me at some point, then okay. But until then, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing and trying to, again, improve myself every single week.
Absolutely. Because you're not an incel sitting around demanding that somebody give you something. Instead, you're out here being the best you that you can be, and that obviously is the difference in a quality person and a person I need to punch in the throat and shove down. You know what I mean? So there you go. You got your answer. And I will. And man, that throat punch, boy, get him every time. I get him every time, boy. They run off at the yammer, and then throat punch, and all of a sudden ain't nobody talking no more. It's real funny how that shit pans out.
First fight I ever got in, I gave a guy an uppercut in the throat. He was just,
oh God,
oh boy, okay.
Listen,
okay.
Man, they cave like somebody done stole the air right out their lungs. It's ridiculous. Like, shut up, you crybaby. I didn't even hit you that hard. Shut the fuck up. It's ridiculous. Good God. I was taking hits harder than that when I was 10.
But as far, let's say on a financial basis, let's say financial and legal. Okay. What are the benefits of marriage? Now,
to be married?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my first husband would not hold a job to save his fucking life. All right. Not 5 minutes, baby. He couldn't. It just, it was killing him. It was just devouring his soul every moment that he owed to the time clock. Oh, Christ. Okay. Now, I went total opposite end of the spectrum with my second marriage. Now, Corey had his shit together. Corey owned everything. I had no idea what our bills were. Never even saw one. No fucking clue. My car, he paid for it. Everything that I worked for was mine to keep. He never asked me for nothing. Now, I mean, granted, I go, pick up dinner, buy something for the house, whatever, but that was on me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was independently wealthy because of smart stock decisions, didn't come from money, but made his own. And I'm gonna tell you what, he damn sure did it right. That's for sure, because I did not ever want for anything, you know what I mean? But he also was to him, I was a trophy, just another thing to collect, another something to have paid off. Look at my nice shiny thing that I have. I sat right next to the Mercedes and the Harley. So that was that's pretty much, I've discovered you get one or the other, essentially. You got somebody who can't fucking be worth the salt when it comes to, managing a finance, managing a household, even being a contributing member of, or you got the one who everything is in their grip, and like it's, you either gonna be what they want you to be, or you ain't gonna be there, and it's a shitty situation. That's why I just I don't foresee it for me. You know how it is, the jingling keys, boy. Jingle them fucking keys at you.
There you go.
You ain't finna jingle them keys with me, bitch. You ain't finna do it. Nope.
Now, let me throw this at you. Your home. Your home is your home.
Yeah.
My home is my home.
Fucking ain't right.
I don't want to share my home with anyone else. I'll be honest with you. Like, I like having my own.
Nobody touching my stuff.
There you go.
You ain't listen. You wanna come in my house, step your dirty ass feet all over my floor. Who is you? Don't step on my floor with your nasty feet. That's disgusting. Wipe your fucking feet at the door. I can't stand that. I don't want you touching my things. I don't want you looking at my stuff. I don't want you over here, nosing around in this area. That's not your area. This is my area. Okay, everything over here, my area. This is centralized, my area. I don't want your hands in my fridge. I don't want your fingerprints on my light switch. I don't want none of it. None. I don't want you leaving no fucking toilet seat up so I can fall in at 3:00 in the morning. No, none of that sounds good to me. None of it. I don't want none of it. None. That's it. That's how I feel about it. That's 0%, baby. Put that in your little graph and smoke it, okay?
I'm with you there. I
then.
I like having my own space that is fully within my control. I put what I want in it, take what I want out of it, but regardless, it's mine. Full stop.
That's right. Yep.
That's what I think if I were to like be in a relationship or even like get to that point where maybe it's getting to that point, I don't know how much I will be able to compromise. That's.
Whoa.
Could
you listen? Like, okay, I know how I am about things. I'm an asshole about. I am. And just the mere thought of, bitch, I just went over here on my hands and knees and did this fucking floor. All right. You gonna come traipsing your nasty ass through here, flinging fucking food crumbs, whatevs. What the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? What is wrong with you? Like, that's my reaction. Well, people don't like that reaction. They'd rather you just oh no, it's cool, baby. Just, no, motherfucker, it's not. It's not cool. It's not okay. None of this is okay. Get on your hands and knees and scrub that shit like I just did, you nasty ass. You got no home training. That's your problem. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I don't like the thought of it. I'm just not. And that in and of itself is a good enough reason for me. Add to it all the other crazies that I have going on here. You ain't even got to push for crazy. Like, I'll give you a ticket for free. You ain't even got to push the button, baby. I got all the crazy you need right here. Now serving J32. Step up.
And on top of that, now that's inside the house. Outside, okay. How about things like planning anything really? I mean, planning trips, planning.
Well, I mean, what? Yeah, you want to touch my hibiscus? Nah, get the fuck away from my hibiscus. It don't need you. It don't. I prune that. Stay the fuck back. I don't even like the way you're cutting on it. Get the fuck out of here. Cut it at a slant, bitch. Otherwise, it don't grow back right. Go on. It's nonsense. I can string my own damn vegetables. I don't need that. Shit. I can mow the fucking lawn in a bikini while I hold a beer. Let's be serious. What's the question? What is the fucking question? Get the fuck out of here. I got that too. That's handled. That's handled.
Well, I'm talking more about like, I agree with you there, but I'm talking more about like decisions to be made that have to, that are made jointly. For example, like financial decisions.
How do I know?
You know what I mean? And that's where.
How do I know you're not gonna do dumb shit?
That's what I'm getting to. That's
you can't be on my house payment with dumb shit. Nah, bitch. Nah, you can't do that.
And that's why, again, I want everything in my control. Because if I fuck up, then that's on me. But I don't want anyone else to affect me like that. You know what I mean? So
you would be not the first, but version 2. You know what I mean? He was the same way. Everything had to be tightly in his grip. Otherwise, what happens if I send Ape down here to drop off this check, and she don't drop off the check, or whatever. Nope, can't do that. Got to do it myself. Got to be in charge of it. Got to have it handled. Got to sit down every Saturday morning with my big ass bank size checkbook, and write all my shit out. And like, who in the fuck even has a checkbook that big? I don't know. Why he would store it under the bed? You know what I mean? Like, the bitch was so big. It was the size of the mantle. I don't know where he got this, but I mean, Jesus. There's there's the theory that the person that you are with is supposed to have your faith in them, that they are going to have the same goals, the same outlook on finances, the same. That's why they encourage you to discuss finances early on in a relationship, because if you are not financially compatible, baby, you can be a whole lot of compatible, but I'm gonna tell you what, that bitch fuck up your checkbook one time, you ain't fucking compatible no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then you going to see your favorite teller, Stacy, and you telling Stacy all about what this dumb bitch done did to your shit. So, that's it. It'll change your tune real fast. So, that's something that I think should be encouraged a lot more, and it isn't. It's I've had people ask me encore, as a matter of fact, what do you think the key issues are, when a couple's moving in together? What would your advice be? I'm gonna tell you this: sit down with your bills and get everything out on the fucking table. Everything. Tell him about the fact that you got a 515 because you didn't pay off none of your fucking credit cards from college. Tell him about the fact that you, at the end of the week, you got 62 cents in your fucking checking account, and you're out there praying to God you can find another 40 cents to match it so you can get the damn gas cut on at the gas station with your dollar on your damn debit card. You know what I mean? Let the man know what type of financial situation he's getting himself into, and vice versa. I mean, if Brian, if you out there and you spending $700 a damn month on shoes, and you ain't making a house payment, we 4 months behind and finna go into foreclosure. Like, we need to, because fuck your shoes. That's what fuck your shoes, Brian. You know what I mean? Like, you be somewhat fiscally compatible. If you're not, you're really not fucking compatible, dude. You're really not. It's going to be a headache. It's going to be more than a headache, because financial stress will ruin a marriage quicker than anything. So I honestly, I would tell you to scope that one out real good, because I'm talking about you need to see at least 5 years past tax returns. Okay. I'm talking about you need to see 3 months worth of credit reports from all 3 agencies. Okay. You need some rental references, the long form, not the short form. I want to know what your fucking student loan amount is. Let's talk. Let's sit down and let's work these numbers over real fast. Like, it's it's a serious situation, man.
Everything you're describing is spot on, because that's something that I, especially like after dealing with a crazy girl, right? Is I'm like, I want to make sure everything I have is in order. When I first started moving around, I overspent on, I think, two credit cards. My credit score went from like, it was low 70s or 700s to, it went down to like 583, right? When I first moved across the country, right?
A hard hit to take. Yeah.
Okay. I spent that was 2017. I spent the last like 2.5 years building it back up. Now I'm back up to like 740 something, It took a long time. It took a lot of making sure all my shit was in order to get back to the point where I was before I left. And I'll tell you, even as far as like salary goes, this 2019 was by far my best year ever. Now, when I first started moving around, like 2017, 2018, those were not good years. It was not good years salary wise. But I'm back to where I wanted to be when I first left Texas. Obviously, as you know, I've worked for the same company for 11 years. Like, I got a lot of time and energy invested in that. Like, I take that shit as seriously as anybody can take anything, you know? I don't want anybody
That's instant
messing that
credit.
up. You
That's
know?
instant credit being on that job 11 years.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's all you gotta say. Hey man, I've been on my job 11 years. Oh, okay, cool. Here, have this furniture. Take this, BG. It's cool. Just pay us later. You know, you ain't going nowhere. We already know. We checked with your job. Been there 11 years. You show up every day. Yeah, it's instant credit. It's instant. You know, it's an instant positive. And the first time, you know, you've got some ignorant bitch in there, you know, messing up all your shit, BG. And then now you got to take time. Oh, boss man, I got to check out early today, man. This bitch, I'm ruining my shit. I got to go down to the bank. Then I got to go to, oh my Jesus. Now we're in a pattern. We're in a downward cycle, and it's terrible. You know, now boss man gonna be calling you still. Hey Brian, you gonna be back to the damn shop today, or what's happening, man? Well, I mean, how long it take to visit the bank? Oh, this bitch done fucked up 62 damn accounts and blase. Man, you don't need. Listen, I know. You wanna know how I know? Because I've had it happen to me. That's how I know. Because I have looked at my shit and been, oh man, come on, man. Like, seriously, dude. All right, okay, all right.
Can you do me a favor? Can you stop describing 2013 to me?
You know what I mean?
That's what it was like.
That was 2009. Okay, that was 2009. So you know, it's you learn from scaldings like that it's not something that is easy to listen, man. I can't even explain to you how dumb ass I look standing down there to the public credit union trying to explain to these people, you know, hey, listen, okay, look, I know what happened. All right, it wasn't supposed to happen, but this is what happened was.
Happened was
exactly. You can't explain that your spouse is a fucking idiot who cannot even make it over on his lunch break to drop off his fucking paycheck to cover the utility check that you wrote 2 days ago so the damn lights wasn't cut off because your irresponsible ass husband had to buy a damn ounce of reefer instead of paying the fucking bills. You know, this is a hard thing to explain to a customer service rep at the bank. You know what I mean? That teller don't really give two hot damns about it. All she wants to know is, how are you going to clear up this NSF on your account? This is what you need to do, is deposit these funds here. It don't sound no better explaining it to them in person either. Trust me, it sounds that bad. That's the lesson people need to take from it. You know, if you're not doing fiscally compatible, that's what you're doing. Explaining it to a teller. How your husband bought a zipper reefer instead of paying the fucking light bill. There it is. That's your answer.
And you're right, though. I mean, that's something that so many people just don't, and some like just assume that their spouse is going to take care of everything. So you have, like I said, you have no idea what's going on with your finances. You just know things are happening, but you don't know what's going on, and that would drive me crazy. Yep. Oh my god. And do it, you know. So.
Did you know that financial infidelity is considered to be by like 40% of the population worse than actual infidelity? Credit cards on the sly, secret accounts, payments you ain't making. Listen, bitch, I'm tell you what, if you sleeping with the neighbor Stacy, I don't give a hot damn, get your shit, get out. But if you fucking up my credit, boy, looky here, I'm gonna fight you like a man in the front yard. I'm gonna fight you like a man. I swear to God, we're going toe to toe. Hear what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. There's a big difference because one of them, you can get the fuck out, and the other one, you just fucked up my life. You know? Gotta take that shit into effect. You know?
You know, all we've talked about this subject is exactly why I like being single. Honestly, it's just I don't ever want to have to rely upon someone else.
On anyone else. I say it all the time. You know, all the time. I trust me. You know, I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to take care of me, regardless. Do I know somebody else is going to do that? Fuck no, I don't. Watch. Yeah, I bet you will. You know, it's a hell no. I can't even trust somebody not to hurt my fucking feelings that day. You know what I mean? Never mind any of the rest of the shit. That's the serious shit, you know? You can't even do the easy shit. You can't even do the easy fucking, you can't open the door. You can't fucking, you can't pull out my chair. You can't not speak to me like an asshole. And I'm supposed to believe that you gonna do the big shit, the important shit. Fuck no, you ain't going to. You gonna fail on that too. Duh. I mean, I don't even expect anything else. Because every time you do, you get the dumb shit.
Now, the other side of that, or a different perspective on that is that, okay, so my parents have been married for almost 40 years now. Grandparents, before my grandmother passed,
right.
They're married for 50, no, 60 something years. And my paternal grandparents, before they passed, about 8 years ago or so, 9 years ago or so, they were married for over 50 years as well. So
they was doing it different.
There is, yeah, and there is, you know, or probably still is to some extent, but there was definitely earlier an expectation that I would kind of go down a similar route. So, you know, once I reached, like, say,
which is why your sister is, and
yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
So at this point, like, my dad's more like, okay, do you need any money? Do I need to bail you out of jail? No, Dad, I'm good. Okay, cool, son. Good talking to you. Right?
Like, I love it.
We cool, you know. My mom,
he's not wrong.
Every now and again, you know, nice to have some grandbabies where I can still run and jump, you know, that kind of thing. But like, that's just not my life right now. It's just not, you know.
Sis got that. Sis got that covered. You know,
she just kind of moves that along, so that way they can kind of, you know. Yeah, that's just not. I'm sorry.
Back in their days, back in their marriage days, your grandparents, your parents, okay, my grandparents, my parents. All right, even though my parents ain't no fucking shining example of nothing. However, back in those days, let me tell you what you didn't have. Okay, you didn't have people on Facebook Messenger at 3:00 in the fucking morning hitting up your dude, your chick, everybody else's chick, drunk texting everybody. You know, you didn't have half naked bitches that live next door on Instagram. You know, oh my God, I didn't realize my neighbor saw. You know, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Yeah, you did. You know, yeah, you did. You didn't have all that. You didn't have the easy access to excuses. You didn't have the constant ability to dial a whore. You know, it was a little harder. You had to go walk down a dark alley and possibly get stabbed. You know what I mean? You you had to take the chance of running into an angry pimp. You know, it may or may not be a good situation. You know what I mean? Now, shit, you just order them right to the house. You know, they're everywhere. It's in your face constantly, and it's accepted. It's these bitches don't care. They're sugardaddy.com, baby.
That's true.
What do you mean? What? You're taking all the guesswork. You're taking all the fun out of it is what you're doing. I need $26,000 a month, okay? In addition, like, bitch, are you serious? Like, and this is okay? Like,
and they pay
how
too.
Did this happen?
They pay.
I know they do. I know, babe. Listen, on her pages, there are bitches that write about this shit. Okay, check this out. I make $18,000 a month as a sugar baby. All right. My apartment has been paid for 7 years. Bitch, I'm out here struggling eating SpaghettiOs. Okay, because of my moral code. Are you serious? I don't need to have that many morals. Like, what? Can't I just let go of a part of them? Because it's sounds like a really good deal. Like, okay, how about we take 22% of my morals and 76% of your fucking money, and let's see what we come up with, okay? Like, I need a different option because these fucking SpaghettiOs ain't cutting it, you know? But it honestly, I cannot even sit here and bullshit with you and tell you that at any point in my life, even when it has been at the lowest point, even when it really was no fucking SpaghettiOs, when it was noodles and no sauce, you know, never once did I say to myself, you know what would be awesome right now? Is if I let some nasty ass old dude grope on me for some fucking groceries. That would be amazing. Nah, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be amazing at all. It would actually really suck balls, and I'm not a fan of that either. So we're gonna go ahead and just, you know, we're gonna stick with these fucking dry ass motherfucking pasta today, you know, and maybe tomorrow we get some marinara. Who knows, you know? But you have different, you have a different mindset on people nowadays. You know, these young folk, they ain't out here, you know, looking for nobody to be, you know, a partner. You know, they don't want to leap tall buildings with somebody, Brian. You know what I mean? They want to have instant access, instant exposure, instant. You know what I mean? It's just ain't Instagram. This life, this real life. You know, you out here making decisions that are permanent. You feel what I'm saying? And you're making the wrong ones, baby. You can't take them titty pictures back. You can't do it because your pervert ass neighbor Jeb done got the shit unlocked. Trust me, it's his screensaver at work. All right, you ain't getting them back. So 15 years from now, when you're trying to be a respectable fucking wife and mother, at the PTA meeting, when you say something Jeb don't like, he gonna pull them pictures out, bitch. He gonna do it. And now explain that shit to little Tommy. Explain it to him. You know what I mean? It's a whole different mentality. And you know, it's ease of access is also greatly causing the moral scale to slide in a direction it probably shouldn't be sliding. You know, it's like everything's acceptable, everything's a go now. You know, ain't nobody saying no about nothing. You know, bitch, you need some no in your vocabulary. Like, you got all this yes going on. You need to be tossing some no in there for real, because you're just way too easy with it. You know, so that's my thought on it.
No, and when it comes to, as you said, like social media, I'm not on, aside from, I mean, if I don't know if I'm going to call it core social media, that's the only thing of that nature that I'm on. I'm not on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, because I don't really see any value in me being on there. I mean, I had a Facebook page for maybe a month when I was with Crazy Girl, but she accused me, or no, she implied, I should say, that I was like cheating on her. She actually not get this. She actually typed that while we were in the same bed together. I never forget it. Never forget it. Because I'm like, I'm next to you, and you're sitting here typing this stuff, and then one of her little hood friends is just, girl, get the fuck. Nope, I'm done.
Oh,
like, if you're gonna spread false stuff, lies about our personal business, right then and there, like, I shut it down. Like, I was already hesitant about doing it in the first place, and that just reinforced why I didn't want to do it. Like, nope, it's not gonna happen.
Baby.
You know?
So, and see, that's a big thing with me, BG. Don't put my business in the streets. Don't ever do that. Do not. Listen, I have a Facebook for my column. That's all I do. That's it. I'm not out here discussing my daily events. Bitch, I'm talking about what you can read today, okay? I'm not, you know, out here commenting on, you know, Jessica's fucking new hair. No, bitch. I'm trying to get y'all over to Medium so I can get paid for this fucking story I wrote. All right. I need everybody to get your ass over there. That's the reason I got all you assholes on here. Like, I don't care about none of y'all. I didn't like you in school. I don't like you now, you know, but if you'll go over there and read my story real fast, I can make some money, and then I pretend like I like you for another month or so, you know, until my shit comes in next month. We'll see how the earnings work out. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason that I didn't even have a Twitter until long after we had started Bitchface, you know, and when I was getting all the domains, you know, I was like, damn, I got to get that one too. You know, I had no idea what the fucking Twitter was, you know. Cynthia is the one that started tweeting me, you know, and I was just like, oh shit, I guess this is how this works, you know. But like, you know, again, the only time I'm ever addressing anything on those platforms is when I'm on Substack and I'm putting share from the column. That's it. That's all it's for. Now, ask me how many times I get buzz at 3 o'clock in the morning and some drunk ass dude is trying to slide into the DMs. No, dude, no, it's not going down in the DMs. It's not. Okay, somebody sang it to you wrong, partner, because it's not. Like you fucking with the wrong one at this point. Like, no, on some hoe shit. No, I'm not with the hoe shit. You heard wrong. You got me discombobulated, all fucked up.
Where we at here?